What's up, beauties? This is your girl Butter Pecan Brielle coming to you loud, live, and in color. If this is your first time joining my channel, a very warm welcome to you. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope to serve you well. For this video, I am going to be talking about foundation. This is going to be the first segment in our makeup series. And so I'm starting the makeup series. I have gotten a lot of questions on how I do my makeup, and so I want to talk more about that in detail. In this video, I'm going to help you understand how to apply it, what kind of foundations to look for, and just ultimately how to get the best out of your foundation, whether it's full coverage, sheer coverage, or a little something in between. Okay, so stay tuned. All right, so notice something a little different? Yep, I tied my hair back just to make sure that I don't get any product in my hair. The last thing you want, in most cases, is to just get any makeup product like foundation and concealer to get it on your hair, because number one, it may accidentally transfer to your clothes depending on how long the hair is, and in my case, that could possibly happen. Secondly, you just don't want to have splotches of, or bits of foundation or concealer on there. It's just not really cute. But I don't know, if you're going for that look, more power to you. But over here, I'm just tying my hair back. Anyways, so let's get started. I've already put primer on my face, so just remember to do that. Let's talk about the different types of foundations, okay? So I brought well, they're all my foundations, but I brought a little more than a few of my foundations just so that I could show you. So we have liquid foundation. So this is my NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This is my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation here. These are both liquid foundations, okay? So, benefits. Buildable coverage. What that means, and that's just another word for sheer coverage. So essentially when we say sheer coverage, it means that when you apply one smooth layer of it on there, it's going to, you're gonna see the color, you're gonna see the foundation take effect, so to speak. However, it's not going to fully cover the face. Usually you want to use liquid foundations if you're someone whose skin tone is mostly all the same, if you feel like your face is mostly flawless, which I'm sure most of your faces are, or if you just want to kind of just touch up most of the face to just get that uniform look, essentially because your face is going to be a canvas. You just want to make sure that it's a uniform color or a uniform complexion. Before I start getting into the application of that, let's start talking about I call it cream foundation, but I usually use foundation sticks, and I guess these are considered cream foundation. So this is my Juvia's Place foundation stick. It's a shade, the Juvia's Place shade stick in the color Benin. And then you have the Mented shade stick. This is in the color T20, T for tan. I also have one in M30, M for medium. By the way, both of these, so both Mented as well as Juvia's Place, they're both Black-owned cosmetic companies. So shout out to them. I absolutely love their products. A lot of them are very full coverage, which segues into my next point. So when you use most cream foundations, they're more full coverage. Only thing is, you want to be careful about applying it and be very demure, very mindful, so to speak. You just want to make sure that you are not over applying it, because a little goes a long way. Whereas with the sheer complexion or buildable complexion, you can apply it in layers. So it just really depends on what you prefer. There's no expert, there's no better way to do it, there's no beginner versus expert. It's all just based on your preference. And you'll get used to it when you're applying it. You'll start to see what you like better on your skin and how you like the finished product of it, okay? So, finally, we're getting to the fun part, application. So, I want to explain to you, you have different kinds of makeup brushes. If you've never done makeup before, there are so many different brushes and it can be a little overwhelming. So I'm gonna use this one for now. This is my Juvia's Place. It's a Kabuki foundation brush. Typically when you see this angled flat top brush, there we go. This is a Kabuki style brush. This is typically what we call a Kabuki brush, but this is an angled flat top foundation brush that I have from Juvia's Place. Again, shout out to Juvia's Place, Black-owned businesses. And so I'm going to use this This just has a nice large face to it, so it makes it, I can more quickly apply the foundation here. So, and you typically want to use these when you're working with sheer or buildable coverage foundation, so i.e. the liquid foundations. Again, it just really helps to apply it and spread it all over the face more easily. So again, hence the large face, especially for this large face. You can also use these for cream and stick foundation, so you know, for more full coverage. However, I'll show you that in a little bit. Right now, let me show you how to just apply the liquid foundation. I'm gonna use my NARS. Yeah, I'm gonna use the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. All right, and actually, what I usually like to do is I try to shake it up just to make sure. And let's see, I thought I had an applicator brush. If I don't, that's okay. Anyway, so just gonna take this. See this? And I really try not to apply any more than like a quarter size amount. Again, I know that it's sheer coverage, but I want to be, you don't want to waste product, okay? So typically what I'll do, and again, this is why I keep like a makeup remover wipe or just a face wipe, just something to wipe your hands off, because this is, you know, it's makeup, it's art. Okay, so I'm gonna just take my finger, okay? And I'm just gonna dab it on my face. I'm also looking in my mirror down here. You can't see the mirror, but I'm also dabbing it on my face. And I just put it all over, right? You know, and this just helps to make sure that the product is spread out nicely, okay? So, now I can just wipe my finger off. Ooh, yes, Lord. And just make sure you do that. The last thing you want is to get anything on your clothes or anything if you accidentally touch it if you have it on your finger. So now, just gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna start to work it in. And as you can see here, it's really nicely just applying it to the skin. Yep. And it's like you're painting a canvas. Your face is a very beautiful canvas. And that's something that you should always remember. And so you just want to make sure that you apply it correctly. And you know how I'm just sweeping it across, right? I also go under the eyes as well, just to even the skin tone everywhere. Typically, if you're going to be wearing eyeshadow, you may not always have to worry about it. Typically, you'll be applying either a concealer or an eye primer there for your eyeshadow primer. So, it may not always be necessary. But, it's kind of up to you. But like I said though, we want to go for an even tone, okay? Now, mind you, I bought this a long time ago. My skin tone has definitely changed since then, so this may not be exactly my skin tone anymore, but I just want to show you how to apply it. Okay. Okay, and sometimes I might try to go in circles like this, just to blend it out and smooth it. I actually like this. You know, this is a liquid one, but again, you know, my complexion is mainly pretty similar across my skin. I don't have too much discoloration, so this is actually good for me. And I'm usually pretty good after this point. So you see, it only took that quarter size amount that was on my hand. And if I need any more, then I'll just sweep it off of my hand and apply just a little bit more, another layer right here. Okay. Now, again, my face may look a little redder, but again, my skin tone was very different. I think I bought this probably before I moved into my house. So maybe a few years ago. This had to be like 2021 or 2020. So, but just notice right here, not necessarily the red face that I have. I don't know how it looks here, but I want you to take into account the, I want you to take into account how smooth it is across my face. The tone of it, you're noticing that my face is all one tone and that my canvas is ready. So I just want you to keep that in mind. All right, so I will be back in just a moment. I'm gonna just go ahead and wipe this off, and then we're gonna get into cream foundation. So, woohoo! All right, so now into the cream foundation. So we've talked a little bit about the shade sticks and just the consistency and coverage with the cream foundation. I want to talk about the application. Again, the fun part. So you saw that I used the Kabuki brush, or the large flat top foundation brush for the liquid and sheer coverage foundation, for cream foundation, and for thicker, more full coverage foundations. I usually use a brush like this. This is my SK flat top foundation brush. One thing I want to talk about is that the bristles are more concentrated. The bristles are more compact together. And so this really just allows the brush to be overall stronger against the product, so to speak. So for this one, you don't necessarily have to use this for a liquid foundation, and I actually would not recommend it, because sometimes what ends up happening is it ends up wiping it off. So that's why I like to use a looser flat top foundation brush for like the larger application brush for the liquid one. For this, for the cream and the full coverage foundations, especially for the shade sticks, I'm gonna be using this brush. You can also use this one. So this is my Juvia's Place round top foundation brush. It's in J1 is, I guess, how they have it in their system. So this is a rounded top right here. This is what I use to get that airbrush look. So I use this not only for my foundation, but also my concealer, but I will cover that in another video, and then we'll just talk about blending. But you know, you just apply this here and you just get this really nice, and this rounding off here just allows you to move in this motion here when you're going in a circle, just to get that really nice coverage. It's really flawless, and I absolutely love it. So this one, again, fully recommend. Juvia's Place, Black-owned cosmetics company. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with this one. I'll say I got this while I was in Chicago. I believe I was at a CVS. I was picking something up at a CVS, and I saw this, and I realized I had forgotten my foundation brush. This has been my go-to since then. So I'm gonna use my Mented shade stick in the color M30. Again, M for medium. So this is closer to my skin tone as it is now. So what I do with this, there are two ways you can do it. The first one is that you can apply it directly to your face, which is how I prefer to do it. The second is you can take your brush, right, and then you have your shade stick extended, and then you can just brush off as much as you need. Now, this is how you would do it if you're looking to still get that sheer coverage using a cream or a shade stick foundation, which can come in handy. A lot of times I don't always like to wear foundation, but when I do, I like it to be really sheer, just a nice veil, just to tackle those little bits of hyperpigmentation. A lot of people don't notice it, but I do. So again, doing makeup is about yourself. It's not about anyone else, and it's about making you feel beautiful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just apply it on my face. And so actually what I'll do is on this side, I'm gonna apply it on my face. On this side, I will use the foundation brush to just blend it in. So maybe we'll see a difference, but again, I like both methods. So anyways, enough talking. So we're just gonna go in, right? And I usually don't apply too much. So 5 or 6 strokes should do it. And you don't have to press hard. Again, less is more, I promise you. So again, I'm gonna take my flat top brush. Again, I didn't apply much. Now, this one here, it can be, if you want it to be completely, truly full coverage, then you'll want to apply more. So, again, I try to be sparingly with it. I think that's what I really like about a shade stick, is that you can get as full coverage or sheer coverage as you want. So again, for me, I'm so used to just applying bare minimum. And also see, it's a very, very small difference from this side to this side. I do not apply much. But again, I can just show you, and I guess because my skin is so flawless and beautiful, it's hard to tell when it's full coverage versus not. Wink, wink. I'm just kidding, you guys. Not really, girl. You know my skin is beautiful. Let's see. So again, I'm just gonna go in, right? And see, this shade stick in particular I really like. Let me show you a more full coverage one. This one is a little more medium coverage, but again, that's why I use it so much. But I'll show you a more full coverage, but let me just show you, goodness, this beautiful canvas. I need to find more space. Let me just show you real quick when I just apply it. So again, just gonna, just like you see here, and I'm just gonna apply some right here. So you're still getting it, right? And then just applying it where you need to. This is also how you can get a really good airbrush look as well. And you just see I'm just softly going across it. Don't do it too hard. And make sure your stick is only as far out as it needs to go. Don't start in the comments. I know how that sounded. But just make sure that the shade stick doesn't extend too far out from the base, just because you run the risk of it breaking or fracturing. You just don't want that. So just, I keep it out not even that far. It's probably better if you see it from here. So again, just gonna apply it, and we'll do it like up here this time. And just remember, don't just do this, don't just dab it, you want to work it in. And don't, again, you don't want to press hard and do it, you want to apply a medium pressure to do it. Trust me, the product can handle it. Okay, so again, this is minted in M30. So if your skin complexion is like mine, definitely get M30. Let's do, this is Juvia's Place. This is the color Namibia. This one is closer to my skin tone, but let me see how we're looking here. Okay, let me just give you, let me just help you understand real quick. Okay, I have not used this in forever, and also back when I used to use this, I use it a lot. So this shade stick right here, baby girl, has been used, honey, okay? So I'm really gonna try to be careful with this, because I definitely made the mistake of fracturing it before. I just want to show you, it's more my skin tone, which is why I'm using the shade Namibia as opposed to Benin. Although, I might just go back to Benin just to see, okay? Just want to show you real quick. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show you with the new brush. I don't want the current brush to influence that, so okay, you can see it here. So I'm just gonna, okay, see how much more this is full coverage. And again, I'm just trying to apply medium pressure to it. Again, the product can handle it. So if you're looking for a really full coverage shade stick, then Juvia's Place is your girl. So again, I can do this, or I can do this. So I'm gonna just use the last little bit here. As you can see, it's a lot more prominent. But again, if you really are trying to go full coverage with it, great. Again, for me, my preference is the minted, because I like to build up, because I really don't need much to begin with. But if you feel like your face has a lot of imperfections that you really want to make sure are hidden, but you don't want to go all over your face with, you know, concealer, then full coverage foundation is a really great choice. So again, just going through, blending this out. Now, my face is a few different colors at this point, but hopefully you got the point. Hopefully you got the picture here. So yeah, that's how you can apply your foundation here. So again, we've done the cream foundation this time, and I've shown you a bit about that. I will also show you just how to blend in better. So again, let me kind of reset my canvas, and then I'll show you what I do when I'm applying foundation, and you'll just see how I work that in and how I can just get that really nice natural look. I think these days we really want to have a more natural looking face of makeup. You don't want it to be cakey. You don't want it to look like it's you know, having a lot of buildup. So I'm gonna show you that next. And then that will be the last portion of our foundation segment. All right, so final segment of our first video is going to be about just how I apply my foundation just to get a natural and slightly airbrushed look. Now, airbrushed I would say applies more for when you apply that concealer to highlight and give your face that 3D effect, you know, like really bringing your makeup to life. But you can still just see how smooth my foundation is when I apply it, and you can see it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look too discolored, you know, it looks just really smooth all around. And so I'll just show you that very quickly. So again, just starting with my Mented Shade Stick in M30. I keep looking just to make sure I say the right thing. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go a couple strokes here and there. And you never really want to just apply too much, but I'm just showing you for the sake of the video just how it would look if I were applying it all over my face. I typically usually just apply it here in like the chin and jaw area. Up here, usually don't need it too much, either one, because of the hair I'm wearing, or two, just because concealer normally is more prominent in my T area, my eye, nose, like really just, this is where I'm gonna highlight my face more. So I usually will just save the product and not really use it there. So anyways, just gonna go with my brush. By the way, I do recommend this SK flat top foundation brush because it also comes with a lid. Just protects, number one, it protects the bristles of the brush from damage, but it also protects any of the items that are around, especially if you're wearing, you know, if you have clothes on while you're doing your makeup, in case if you accidentally drop it, you know, this is protecting your clothes from getting that makeup on it. So great one to have. I really do recommend this. You can find this at any drugstore. But again, I got this at CVS. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? So again, right now I'm just brushing, and then I'm just gonna, and I'm not doing heavy pressure on this. I'm just kind of just going in circles. Circles, you're gonna learn, are a really beautiful shape for makeup. When you're applying it, you really wanna do it in circles motion, circular motions, not circles motion. And you know, I'm just starting off here, and then I'm just going to apply it in circle. For smaller areas, again, I'm just going to, you know, but again, I'm always sweeping. You never just want to dab on the foundation. Like, I'm not doing this here, I'm doing this. And then I'm circle, if you can see that here. Now, again, because I want to make sure to better correct this area, I'm just gonna apply another layer. By the way, in a future video, I will talk about color correction. Really great tool to have, especially when you have like hyperpigmentation or, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called rouging. Basically when you have like a redness somewhere on the face, and so that's also something else I want to talk about as well. It looks so funny, doesn't it? All right, so. And usually what I like to do sometimes, the direction in which I applied the foundation, so like if I applied it just like you see how I applied this horizontally, but then I, you know, went in vertical strokes to blend it in. I just really like to do that. I don't know if it really helps, but I like it. Okay, there we go. And sometimes, again, I don't usually do the eyes too much, again, because I usually, if I'm applying eyeshadow, I'm gonna go in with an eyeshadow primer, or again, sometimes if I don't want to, then that's when I'll just apply it over my eyes, just so that it's not going too crazy, but just so that we're just evening the tone of the face. Okay. Don't forget your nose. Sometimes I do kind of forget my nose, and I'm just like, hold on, let me go back. So again, just going in light circles just to blend it all in. And then there we go. See? You can tell that the tone is, I'll just say monochrome, so you're not getting a lot of conflicting undertones on my face. So now my face is all one tone. I can go in with the concealer. I can really start to layer on other products. So yeah, that is foundation, and that concludes this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining me, and I really do appreciate your continued support. I'm still very new to this content creation thing, so this is all a journey. If you're joining me for the first time, you are still catching me early on, and I just hope to continue to get your support, and I hope to make videos that will serve you and inspire you to go out and do whatever your heart desires. If no one else has told you, I absolutely love you, and I am sending sunshine your way. And in the meantime, stay tuned. I will be doing my concealer segment next, so stay tuned for that. I will let you know when that gets released as soon as I finish editing it. But until then, bye-bye.